Swallowed Star Episode 197. In the previous episode, after thousands of years in solitude, Luo Feng continues his brutal trial within the Shrine of the Sealed Stars. For over 3 millennia, he endures unimaginable agony, not physical, but the tearing of his very soul, as the crystal slowly fuses with his essence. Each moment brings him closer to destruction, yet his will refuses to break. While others before him, brilliant geniuses of the Earth race, perished under the same torment, Luo Feng chooses a different path. He doesn't yield, doesn't merge with the pain, he faces it head-on, suppressing it with sheer determination. In doing so, his spirit evolves beyond its former limits, transforming under pressure like a diamond, becoming something even denser, indestructible. As time stretches past 4,000 years, even the ancient being Pu Ti begins to waver, unsure whether this endless trial can ever be completed. And yet, within the chaos of pain and perseverance, Luo Feng begins to glimpse a faint light, a fragile balance between hope and despair. And the episode 197 continues. 5,000 years, Pu Ti's voice was old and filled with worry. He had never expected the inheritance process to last so long. The first 2 candidates had only endured for about 2,600 and 3,300 years. But Luo Feng, he had already been inside for over 5 millennia. And still, there was no end in sight. Pu Ti sighed deeply, his voice echoing throughout the quiet shrine. Let's hope Luo Feng succeeds. Meanwhile, in the virtual universe, at 9-Star Bay on Black Dragon Mountain, Luo Feng's family estate stood in timeless beauty. Once filled with the laughter of generations, now only the most important members of the Luo family lived there. Over 10,000 years had passed since Luo Feng's rise, and his family had grown vast and powerful, ruling like nobility within the Ganwu universe country. Along the marble path, Xu Xin, Luo Feng's wife, walked gracefully, followed by 2 attendants, as the matriarch of the family and the CEO of Ping Hai Company. She carried an aura of power and respect, yet, despite her calm composure, a deep sadness always lingered in her eyes. Suddenly, her virtual assistant spoke. "Master, it's a letter, from the family leader." Xu Xin stopped in her tracks. Her eyes widened with disbelief. A letter? From Luo Feng? Her heart began to race. For 6,000 years, he had been gone. He had shut down his virtual receiver before departing for something important, and never returned. For a warrior, vanishing for 6,000 years usually meant one thing: death. But now, a message? Her attendants whispered softly behind her. The madam seems so happy. I've never seen her smile like that. She's been worried for years. Indeed, Xu Xin's face lit up with joy as she opened the mail. The letter was long, tens of thousands of words, filled with memories of their youth, of how they met, of their love through the years. She couldn't help but smile as she read, her heart swelling with warmth. But as her eyes continued down the page, her smile slowly faded, her hands began to tremble. And then, she stood abruptly, tears filling her eyes. "No, no, I don't want your guilt. Luo Feng, no." Her sudden cry startled her attendants, who exchanged anxious glances. At that moment, her sons, Luo Ping and Luo Hai, rushed in. "Mom, we received letters too." Xu Xin's voice broke. "Close the doors, no one comes in." When the doors shut, she gathered her sons into her arms. Tears streamed down her face. This wasn't an ordinary message, it was a delayed letter. One Luo Feng had programmed to send automatically if he didn't return after 6,000 years. He had left for the life or death inheritance, believing it would last maybe 4,000 years at most. The previous 2 candidates had lasted far less. But now, 6,000 years had passed, too long. Far too long. Luo Feng must have feared the worst. He had written, "If I succeed, I'll delete this message, but if I fail, at least you'll have something to remember me by." He had worried about what would happen if he fell. He trusted that his teacher, the primal Chaos City leader, could one day revive him, but perhaps not for millions of years. What if, when that time came, his wife, his sons, his parents were all gone? So, He left behind this final message, a farewell and a promise. Shu Xin whispered through her tears. Your father said he will return. Maybe in 10,000 years, maybe 10 million. Her sons were silent, their hearts heavy with dread. For mortals, even 10 million years meant never. Let's go see your grandparents, she said softly. Soon, the family gathered, Luo Hongguo, Gong Xin Lan, and Luo Hua. Their faces were filled with grief. Luo Feng had always been their pillar, the foundation upon which Earth's people stood tall in the vast universe. Without him, everything seemed uncertain. Little Feng, my little Feng, his mother wept, trembling. Shu Xin held the letter tightly. He left us wealth, she said hoarsely, an account with 50 billion mixed elements. Enough to protect the family, for now. But she knew the truth, without Luo Feng, the family would become a target. Enemies and opportunists would strike. I must see his teacher. True Yan, she declared. I have to know what really happened. Her family agreed. Go, we'll protect the family. Through her connections in the virtual universe company, Shu Xin quickly reached True Yan and explained everything. What, a message that he will return in the distant future? True Yan's expression changed immediately. Unlike mortals, he understood the meaning behind Luo Feng's words. Return in the distant future, that meant resurrection. Luo Feng hadn't fallen completely, but he was gone beyond reach. I'll go to the primal chaos city leader right away, True Yan said firmly. At the city leader's residence, the air was heavy with power. True Yan knelt before him, his voice solemn. My disciple may have fallen. The primal chaos city leader's calm voice echoed across the vast wasteland of corpses where he meditated. He's still alive. True Yan looked up, stunned. Alive? I can confirm his life signal. The city leader said, he's inside the Star Tower, in the 7th battlefield, and has been there for 6,000 years. He's in trouble, yes, but alive. The Star Tower is filled with danger, even universe masters fear it. True Yan's heart pounded. The Star Tower was one of the deadliest places in existence. If Luo Feng had survived there for 6,000 years, then what kind of pain was he enduring? Inside the Star Tower, surrounded by countless sealed stars, Luo Feng sat drenched in blood. His body trembled violently. His sector lord body regenerated endlessly. But the true torment was not physical, it was his soul. The pain was unimaginable, tearing through his consciousness like endless knives. Pu Ti watched in disbelief. 6,000 years. He reached his limit 5,000 years ago. For the last 400 years, he's been beyond his limit. How can he still endure this? Luo Feng's body shuddered as if every cell screamed in agony. He could no longer meditate or focus on the beast god path. His awareness was fading, reduced to a flicker of will clinging to existence. Through the pain, only one thought remained. I want to see you all again. His voice echoed weakly in his mind. You all? You all? His consciousness burned with the image of his family, his parents, his brother, his wife, his sons. He couldn't bear the thought of returning to a world where they no longer existed. I wish, I really wish. His soul began to collapse, fragment by fragment, yet his will refused to die. Even as the pain tore him apart, some invisible force held him together. His longing, his love, his guilt, all fused into one final, desperate plea. His soul was about to crumble. I really wish. You all? And that wraps up this episode. In this part, we witnessed an incredibly emotional and powerful turning point in Luo Feng's story. After more than 6,000 years of silence, his family, his wife Shu Xin, his sons Luo Ping and Luo Hai, and his parents, finally receive a message from him. But instead of relief, that message brings heartbreak and fear. It's not a letter written in the present, it's a message Luo Feng prepared long ago, to be sent automatically if he never returned. For Shu Xin and the rest of the Luo family, this moment is filled with both hope and despair. Hope, because Luo Feng promised that he would one day come back. Despair, because his words suggest that it could take 10,000 years, or even 10 million. For beings with limited lifespans, that means they might never see him again. This emotional struggle beautifully captures the pain of time and love in a world where strength and immortality can't protect you from loss. Meanwhile, on the cosmic stage, we see another side of the story. True Yan and even the primal Chaos City leader learn that Luo Feng is still alive, deep inside the terrifying Star Tower. One of the most dangerous places in the entire universe. He has been enduring unbearable pain for 6,000 years. His soul on the verge of shattering. Yet, what keeps him alive is not his power or his training, it's his heart. His memories, his family, his love, the longing to see them again fuels him to resist even as his soul crumbles apart. This episode reveals the true depth of Luo Feng's willpower. It's not just about physical strength or talent, it's about emotional strength. About how love can anchor someone even in the face of absolute despair. It reminds us that no matter how vast or cruel the universe becomes, the bonds of family, love, and loyalty are what make us truly human. So in this episode, we don't just see a warrior fighting for survival, we see a husband, a son, and a father struggling against the very limits of existence, driven by a single, simple wish: to see them all again. If you enjoyed this episode or found it meaningful, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel to get notified about the newest episodes in Luo Feng's epic journey through the universe. Thank you so much for watching, and for joining us on this emotional chapter of his story. Take care, and see you again in the next video.